Joke.
I like to start off.
Joke.
I'll take it. Well, do we have... No, Brian, we do
Brian?
congregational music, and
We'll,
then I go on.
we'll start here, if you're good. Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll get started. It's 10 a.m. and I am Paul Marquis. I will be your song leader this morning. Joining me up on the platform, our music team, we've got Liz on piano, Cameron on bass, and behind me is David on percussion. Later in the service, Liz will be performing special music for us. Please stand and join in singing our opening songs. We have, I lost it. Hang on a second. Spirit Led, Spirit Fed, and God in Everything. Thank you. Spirit-led, Spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am Spirit-led, flowing like a river of peace. I am nature's wondering child. Love cannot be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. There's magic in every day, like a beautiful song. As I'm choosing my way, there's a voice inside to guide me along. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. I am Spirit-led, Spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am Spirit-led. Everywhere I look, I see God in everything, deep inside and all around me. God in everything. I can feel it in my beating heart. God in everything. It's in every breath of life I take. God in everything. Everywhere I look, I see God in everything, deep inside and all around me. God in everything. It's in every stranger's face I see God in everything. Brothers, sisters, family are we, God in everything. Everywhere I look, I see God in everything, deep inside and all around me. God in everything. Mountain, valley, lake, and stream. God
I'm Joe Daly. I'm your platform person for today, and I want to thank everybody who's made this service possible. Script, hospitality, the bookstore upstairs, and let's, think about these people that perform service for us. They truly are helping to make this happen. Our audio and streaming team, the ushers, PowerPoint people, and of course the music team that Paul has already introduced. If you haven't already, now is a good time to invite your phone into the silence. We'd like to welcome any newcomers with a small gift. If you fill out this yellow card that you'll find in the pew pocket in front of you, give it to an usher. There'll be a small gift bag for you on your way out. So, announcements. Today's talk is by Reverend Judy, Following Nature's Lead. And Circulation Day, a unity tradition. It's like a garage sale for free, but we're moving that energy around by making space for new possessions for other people and serving folks that have needs. So if you'd like to participate, sign up for a shift and/or on Saturday the 14th of September, and bring your stuff down between 8 and 9 a.m. And this is an example of unity showing up in the community, giving back to those in need. And for me personally, this is a happy thing. I missed that energy over the summer. Choir practice is back in session. All voices are welcome, trained and untrained. The next town hall is September 29th. So, grand total of $34.95. So thank you for your donations. And the town hall we were going to have the end of July has been rescheduled for September 29th, and that will be upstairs after service. And the women's meditation group, even though there's not a slide, is still meeting this week, and that's September 18th. That's not this week. Wednesday the 4th. Thank you. And it's the first of the month, so if you have a birthday in September, please rise and we will sing you a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So if you'll please join me in our mission statement. As an all-inclusive community, we awaken to spirit, grow into our souls, and build a better world. Our vision, we celebrate a world of ever-awakening consciousness, abundance, peace, and love for all. Our core values: love, authenticity, stewardship, oneness, and playfulness, and our land and labor acknowledgement. Our spiritual community acknowledges Black, Indigenous, and people of color whose lands and labor were forcibly taken. We pledge to promote understanding, equity, justice, and inclusivity. And our youth blessing. If you'll rub your hands together, get some energy going. As you go your way, know that you are loved, special, and important to us.
I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and the green was easy and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed dreamed of summer and the winds changed and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloom in the desert and the air is fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and the way was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang and the sound was easy and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars are shining and the night is bright and clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang and peace spread over the land. And peace spread over the land. And peace spread over the land.
Thank you, Paul. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first day and the first Sunday of September. This is the time in our service where we take a pause to just bring our thoughts a little closer to home, to take some time to be quiet and go within. And as we've just spent these first few minutes connecting with each other, happy to be here, celebrating with song, we now take this time to celebrate with prayer and gratitude, and to carve out a little time and attention for our spiritual self. And so we do that by starting with a reading from the Daily Word, to bring that energy a little closer to home, to bring it the focus right here, to think about our spiritual nature and to connect us to that divine presence within. And so the word for today is togetherness. So much of modern life involves time alone and solitary effort. It seems the more conveniences I acquire, the less time I may seem to have. When I find myself spending too much time alone, it's good for me to invest time and effort in my relationships. Togetherness is a way to remember life is about more than work and busyness, and it's a way to remember that I am part of something greater than myself. Time spent with others blesses and enriches me. It calls me to share of myself and remain open to others' journeys and ways of looking at life that I may not have considered. Togetherness is a balm for my soul, a way to feel the presence of God reflected in those with whom I share this wonderful planet. I am part of the wondrous human family, and I celebrate our togetherness. And from Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 5. So we, who are many, are one body in Christ, and individually we are members one of another. Our affirmation for today is, togetherness enriches my soul. And I'll say that once more, then ask you to join me. Togetherness enriches my soul. Together. Togetherness enriches my soul. And as we take those words in and consider that, each one of us has made a commitment to be a part of this spiritual community. And there's a lot of important benefits to us from the time that we spend together, for the journey that we have shared, for the path that we are on, and for the ways in which we support each other through life's challenges and celebrate life's good times. And so we are grateful to be together this morning on this first day of September as the seasons gently begin to change and the rhythm of life begins to move to a slightly different beat. And so we know that we are connected to each other. We are one with each other. We are connected to all the living creatures on the planet, and we are one with them. We are connected to every aspect of this vast and amazing universe. And we share the heartbeat and rhythm of life. We share the creative energy, the creative mind that set all of this in motion. We know that at one time we were stardust, and now we contemplate the stars. And so this amazing evolution reflects the journey of this incredible spiritual energy that created us and all that we bring to the world creates our experiences of life and our experiences of each other. And so we give thanks for togetherness. We give thanks for our quiet time to appreciate all of the blessings in our life. We take the time to reach out and connect with each other, to acknowledge each other, to support each other, and to love each other as much as we can whenever we can. And all of that is raising the vibration of the universe. And as we continue to raise that vibration, to elevate our thoughts, to want for each other what we want for ourselves. As that unfolds, peace spreads over the land. And so let's take just a moment now, a few moments in the silence, to think about doing what we can, whenever we can, with whatever we have, wherever we are. There is always something we can do to bring a little more light and to express a little more God. So let's just open our hearts and minds to those possibilities now as we spend a few moments together in the silence. And so I invite you to gently return your focus to this time and to this place, to the togetherness of this moment and the rest of our time here together this morning. To appreciate that, to appreciate each other, and to take that love and appreciation that we feel here and spread it across the land so that we are the rainmakers, the ones who bring the greenery, the light, the energy, and we are the ones who spread peace over the land. For this we say thank you, God, and so we let it be.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn so much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I almost hate to tamper with perfection. But you know me, I'll plunge in anyways. So, good morning again, and welcome to everybody who is here with us in the sanctuary. Have you noticed that the construction is getting a little less irritating? We no longer have to drive over the curb to get into the parking lot. I think that's a good sign. Anyways, that's the way I'm taking it and reading it. So welcome those who have braved it here on this holiday weekend. And welcome to everyone who's with us online, watching our live stream this morning, or those who will join us later in the week as your schedule permits. We appreciate all of your spiritual energy, your love and support, because you are part of this great, big, wonderful family we have here. So, for the past few Sundays, we have been exploring the contemplative practices that have their origins and roots in rituals. And so far in this series, we've talked about celebrating milestones. We did that in the Spiritual Cafe. We explored rites of passage that included ceremonies or initiation activities that are woven into various cultural, religious, spiritual, or sociological beliefs. And last week we looked at ceremonies and celebrations based on gratitude, accountability, goals, and intentions. And we were talking a little bit last week about the fact that it was the 20th anniversary of the very last service that we held at our other church on West Main, and then caravanned here to the new church to begin our time here in this space. And I just wanted to make you aware of the fact we have, for the first time this Sunday, you'll see some of these half sheets out on the information desk. And they're simply called memories, but it's an invitation to you to take these home and think about our 20 years on Whites Road and share some of your memories of the move with us. Now, if you know some right off the top of your head, fill it out, leave it here. We don't have a box up on the counter this week. Well, it'll be there next week. But if you want to fill it out and leave it here this Sunday, there's a little actual mailbox outside the office door. So you can just fold it over and drop it in there, and we'll get it. And we're going to collect these up and try to figure out some way to make some sense out of this and share all this by the time we get to Bountiful Feast, when we're going to have a big hoo-ha celebration of 20 years. So, starts today. We'll continue for a while. So today, what we're taking a look at are the rituals that celebrate nature, the seasons, and astronomical events. And you may recall that at the end of the service last week, I invited you to spend some quality time out in nature this past week, observing nature and noticing what's coming up for you as the days are growing shorter. Why? Because the rhythm of life is changing, as it always does. And I think it's really helpful for us to understand how we change with that. The longer I'm here on the planet, the more helpful I believe it is to notice and get in touch with what I'm resisting, and to notice and embrace what it is that I'm celebrating. So, one of my ministerial colleagues refers to these little invitations as homework. I guess if my talk this morning had a subtitle, it would be this: How to Get a Passing Grade Even When You Don't Do Your Homework. And I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about me. So, as I've been recovering from surgery, I've been looking forward to spending some more time outside, especially more time taking walks. But I gotta tell you, the heat and the humidity that we experienced last week took that right off the table. Personally, the top end of my comfort zone includes the low 80s. So with triple-digit heat index figures out there, clearly all bets were off in terms of being outside. Even a before breakfast walk or an after dinner walk was off limits because of the mosquitoes that have finally showed up this summer, and now that they're here with a vengeance where I live. So, boo-hoo, huh? Long story. I remember looking at the weather forecast on my phone on Monday morning and going, and seeing nothing but mayhem and misery for the entire week, and feeling super frustrated that I wasn't really going to get outside much, if at all. In fact, I got a text this week from one of my minister friends who lives in Austin, Texas, and I really had a laugh. She said, I heard this the other day and wanted to share it with you all. There's a group of us who have a Zoom meeting once a month. And she said, this was the text she shared. Want to have a really smoking hot body? Step 1, have a body. Step 2, move to Texas. Step 3, walk from your house to the car. And I kind of had to say, well, you know, they've been putting up with this a lot longer than we have, so I guess I should shut up. But I did manage to kind of cobble together a plan B, and it involved cleaning out and replenishing my finch feeder and my hummingbird feeder, both of which needed a little bit of attention. So I took care of that early in the week, and then I made it a point to really spend some more time engaged in just watching and observing these busy and incredibly beautiful little creatures, because they're just, I don't know, they're just so uninhibited, you know? I look at them, I watch them, and, you know, their issues seem to be, wait, you're on my perch, get off. But nothing more. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I'll peck at you, you go away, I get what I want, and then life goes on for them, you know? And we've got one hummer in particular, I call him the watcher, because he seems to be the one who notices anything that's different. So if there's a bunch of birds on the finch feeder, he'll buzz over there like, looks at them all like he's counting or something like that. Squirrel was on the deck one day. He had to go over there and check out the squirrel, see what that was all about. And every now and then he comes and looks in the window, you know, right outside them, about a foot away, and just kind of checks us out. He says, oh, still on the couch. It's incredible to be shamed by a hummingbird. You know? But that's what it's come to. That's what it's come to. You know, and since we haven't had any rain, so to speak, in spite of the humidity, I did get a chance to spend some time, a couple times out on the deck, watering the flowers and tending to them a little bit. And again, it was an opportunity to be more mindful, mindfully attentive to them, and the role that they play in supporting the butterflies and the hummers, and to appreciate the amazingly gorgeous splashes of color that they add to the view outside the window. So I did manage to get those things done. I guess that counts for something. But honestly, my intention to spend some quality time out in nature pretty much fell flat this past week. You could say that I rang the bell and I got the door slammed in my face. But persistent former salesperson that I am, right? We go on. Because what did come up for me, what I was able to notice and pay attention to, was that the hot weather caused a number of school closings or shorter days throughout all of Southwest Michigan over the past week. And it was starting to bring up some feelings for me about my thoughts, reactions, and feelings and memories about summer winding down and then going back to school. And for me, when I was growing up, school was my happy place. Because by the time September rolled around, I was bored. I was ready to go back to school. I was ready to park my bike, stash my baseball glove, hang out my tennis racket, grab hold of some books, and learn stuff, you know. And, you know, when I was a kid, summer was easy because I had a pretty short list of things to do. Couple chores around the house, play. That was it, you know. Just play for the rest of the day. However, once school was back in session, and certainly the older I got and got more involved in stuff, I hardly ever went out to play at the end of the school day. Homework, school activities, especially band, stuff when I got into high school, always came first. And prioritizing them left me with very little free time for anything else. And that kind of mindset and all of its related habits carried over into college for me. I was a full-time student that always worked part-time. There was a very good stretch of period time where I had two part-time jobs, and was going to school full-time. So it was wonderful to graduate debt-free from college. But the real truth of that, or a different truth of that, another aspect of that, is that I was a human being that had completely forgotten how to play. So as an adult, I have often resisted and felt sad about the days growing shorter, and I understand where that sadness comes from. It's because when I was a kid, I used to know how to play, and I seem to have lost that ability for a long time. So it is often said that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And let the record reflect that for me, it makes me long for greater balance and greater flexibility in my life. And so it occurred to me as I was processing all of this stuff that I might be able to tap into some of the rituals that are tied into the changing of the seasons to help me shift that sadness that I always feel about the days growing shorter and find something new to celebrate and embrace about this time of year. So I did a little bit of research, and this is what I found out. The change of seasons is directly linked to astronomical events, and those astronomical events are related to the Earth's orbit around the sun. So the vernal equinox that marks the beginning of spring, and the autumnal equinox that denotes the beginning of fall, are those points at which the hours of daylight are exactly equal to the hours of darkness. And so hence that equinox, equal, that's what that means. So it is that time when all things are in balance. Now, because the Earth is tilted by about 23 degrees, the winter solstice and the summer solstice mark those locations in the Earth's orbit when our planet is at its maximum tilt, either towards or away from the sun. And when we're tilted toward the daylight and toward the sun, we experience approximately 16 hours of daylight. And that's usually in June. It's pretty close to my birthday. When I worked, I always try to make it a point to take that day off and do something fun. And most of the time, I was able to get away and maybe get to the beach or something like that. But that was just one day. When the planet is tilted away from the sun, then the days are significantly shorter, and we only get about 8 hours of sunlight. And there's a whole bunch of rituals and ceremonies and celebrations that are associated with each one of these astronomical events. So I wanted to just focus in on the fall equinox, this time period, and trying to resolve my specific issue around it. So some of those celebrations for the fall equinox include decluttering, making a gratitude list, honoring ancestors, and preparing an equinox feast. Now that kind of got my attention. Some Native American tribes host full moon ceremonies that celebrate the transition from light to darkness. And in Native American traditions, this is a very, very popular time for vision quests, which is something that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Spiritually, the fall equinox reminds us that although things ebb and flow, it is the way of nature to return to balance. The challenging times in our lives tend to balance out with the more peaceful times, and with each experience we gain, wisdom and insight that help us with the next chapter. So, even though I failed to complete the homework assignment as it was prescribed, I think I got a passing grade on the overall lesson, which was to notice and get in touch with what I am resisting, and to notice and embrace what it is that I can celebrate. And again, because the spiritual interpretation of the fall equinox reminds us that it is nature's way to return to balance, as symbolized by an equal number of darkness and light hours. For me, personally, the goal and the balance that I am seeking is the balance between work and play. So that's what I want to keep focused on as we go through this time, is to how am I seeking balance, how am I achieving balance, how am I finding balance, and finding new things to celebrate. So starting today, this is a good September 1st, it's my intention to start keeping a gratitude journal this fall. And I want to do it at least until Thanksgiving, maybe longer. But I want to use this journal to remind me that I have every resource I will ever need to accomplish my work and to take good care of myself. And that getting the job done, getting my work done, does not have to come at the expense of self-care, downtime, and more importantly, playtime. And I wanted to also make sure that we as a community take part in some sort of nature-based celebration. So thinking about the equinox feast, and I know we've got Bountiful Feast coming up the Sunday before Thanksgiving, but I wanted to do something in the meantime. And so it came to me that an excellent place to start is pie. What's not to love about pie, right? So, if we follow nature's lead, both apples and pumpkins are traditional fall foods. So, I've already talked to Laura, and if Laura says it's a go, it's a go. You can count on that. But I've already talked to her about seeing what we can do to make arrangements to serve up some apple pie and some pumpkin pie after the service one of these days in September. Now, the 22nd, which is 3 weeks away, is the day, that's the actual day of the fall equinox. And then we have the 29th, which is the day of our town hall meeting. So it seems to me like either one of those would be a really good time to have some pie. Maybe we could do it 2 times. I don't know, we'll see. But stay tuned, because we're going to have an announcement about having some fun and celebrating the power of pie. So, in closing, the week ahead is promising to be much more comfortable and more like end of summer weather. So I'm not going to give up on spending some time in nature to appreciate these final days of summer and to prepare myself for the change of the seasons. I checked this out on my phone. It's like right now we have 13 hours of sunlight, and in just 3 weeks, that'll be cut down to 12. So I fully intend to make the most of those 3 weeks in terms of being outside. And I hope that you will find some way to also connect with nature, with your own little daily rituals that I know you have. So in the meantime, live joyfully, live gratefully, and have an amazing week. God bless you.
And we're back. Okay. So as I was saying, ooh, that's loud. In the beginning of September comes the Allegan County Fair. And while I heard that the autumnal equinox is about equal as opposed to tilting, well, I suggest you all go there and get on the tilt-a-whirl. And think of it as tilting your world. So there you go. Thank you. All right. I'm Karen Colson. I'm one of your board members. And for those of you who are at home and those of you here in the sanctuary, please join me in our board affirmation. Every thought of God life strengthens and heals me. And as the ushers come forward, please take out your tithes and love offerings and join me in our offertory blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I could be. Thank you, God.
This is a song about how I feel when I get to eat pie. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, you know what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
That was pretty good. Thank you for that soul. That was awesome. So we're a tithing church, and our tithes this month go to Great Lakes Unity Regional Conference, Unity Worldwide Ministries, unity of Kalamazoo, and ministry with community. Thank you, Marcia. So let us pray. Loving Spirit, we are grateful for the many blessings and gifts that we experience in our daily lives. We are thankful for the offerings received today and throughout the week, and we are grateful for this past summer and for the celebration of Labor Day. We continue our prayers for our world, our nation, and we continue to pray for peace each and every day. We hold those facing challenges right here in our church community close to our hearts and in our prayers. Amen. And as we bring the service to a close, I invite you to please stand and join me in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And as we close with the peace song, if you're comfortable, hold hands with your neighbor, or place your hands on your heart and connect within.
On earth